Hi, Matt here from Airgun Hub, and as you probably guessed by now, we have the Umarex Walther CP88 competition right inside this nice lovely blue box. Before we go into the box, we'll just have a look what the box has got to say. There's not much information. There is a sticker on the front that says that Brocock is the official UK importer of this air pistol. There's a nice emblazed logo on the front that has the Walther logo. Umarex do have the licensing for Walther, so they're allowed to put the Walther logo on their products. The only other thing is the side of the box. There's just a bit of information. It says Umarex. It is the Walther CP88. It's in 4.5mm caliber or 177, and it is in the nickel colour. The clasps on the front of this box are very, very strong. They hold it closed very, very well, so there's no fear that if you were to drop this box, the air pistol wouldn't fall out, the box wouldn't open, so it is shut very, very securely. So if we open her up, and there we have it, the Umarex Walther CP88 competition. So inside the box you have a nice little cutout there for a tin of pellets of your choice. There's also a cutout for a CO2, so everything is contained. You literally just have to take this box out and you've got everything you need. You do get 2 Rotary magazines in this, which we'll talk about in a minute. There's also a little Allen key tool to help adjust the rear sights. And then there's the air pistol itself. Obviously this is the competition version, so it does have the barrel extension. If you were to buy the normal version of this, I do believe there is a little foam insert there just to help it keep it in place a little bit more. Whereas this is the competition version, it's not needed. So if we take it out along with some magazines so we can talk about them. And there you have it. The CP88 competition. Now obviously this version is the nickel version and it has got the walnut grips. I'm a bit of a magpie myself, so I do like the nickel version. This is one of my own personal air guns, so I have had this in nickel just because I like nickel. Just like my other pistols, a lot of them are in nickel. If we start on the air pistol, it does have obviously the walnut grips, as I said. These you can buy separately, and they did also come brand new with these on. They did do this combination of nickel and walnut. It was quite an expensive gun. I think it retailed around the 230 to 250 mark, depending on where you went. That is in pounds, by the way. I've also just added a couple of stainless steel screws because I do think it makes it just that look a little bit better than the black ones, especially against the nickel of the air pistol itself. Moving on, we do have what would be on the real steel version, the mag release there. This side is non-functioning. The other side, it does depress. We'll get into that in a minute because that's all about loading the CO2 and how to load the CO2, so we'll look at that in a second. It does have a true ambidextrous safety, i.e. mean it does work both sides. Safe, fire, it does have the little red mark to show you that obviously it's live and it is ready to fire if it were to have a loaded magazine and a charged CO2 in there. And obviously, as I said, it's ambidextrous, so it works both sides. And again, it does have the red mark on that side as well. My version does have target sights on it, front and rear. I'm not sure if these could be bought like it new with the target sights on, but I know you could definitely buy them as a second-hand part or as a new part that you could add to your air pistol. These do now, they're like absolute rocking horse poo, so if you want to buy a set of these now for your CP88 or any other Umarex pistol, they do go for about £70 second hand. I was lucky enough to purchase this gun second hand and it did have these on already, along with the walnut grips. The walnut grips also do retail about £70 now if you want to try and pick a pair of them up, so they're not cheap. The Umarex match sights, I believe the rear sight is universal to all Umarex pistols, but I know the front sight does vary from which air pistol you're using. So the 92FS does have a different front blade. It fits in differently, so just be aware of that if you're looking at a pair of match sights. Hammer is the same as all of them. Nice little round hammer. You can use this in single or double action. Obviously single action. Moving on, we do have the what would be the slide release there for the genuine real steel version. This actually is what moves the slide forward, so you can put the magazine in. There is a little bit, I do find this a bit finicky. It's one thing I don't like about this air pistol. especially this pistol is my favourite out of my whole collection, but this does annoy me slightly. The reason being is, it would be quite hard to show on camera, but if you push this down, I'll try and show you without my hands being in the way, that does release, he says, the slide, and there it has it. Look, if you push it around too far, it does get stuck there in that position. It's not, it can go around that far, but to open it properly, you're not meant to bring it around that far. And it can get stuck, and it can make closing it a little bit difficult, and you do have to manually push that back round. There is a little spring in there, so if you do manage to get it around about 45 degrees, it will open, and then that will spring back, and you can leave the slide open, and as you push it back, it will click in by itself then, rather than manually trying to have to bring this round. Bit finicky, does annoy me, but once you get the knack of it, it is okay. It's not too bad. Walther, Umarex do have the licensing for Walther, so it does have the official Walther logo on the slide there. It does say CP88, obviously the real steel version is the P88. I'm not sure if there was any reasoning behind that. As I say, Umarex do have the licensing for Walther, so I'm not sure why they've added a C in front of that. There could be a reason behind it. If you do know, let me know in the comments. I'd like to know. Apart from that, the slide, there's just a bit of information there about what caliber it is. Made in Germany, so it is an official German product, and then I think it's just got some marks there for the German market, just so it's like a safety feature. It's an airgun, not a real pistol. And then it does have its own its own unique serial number there. I'm not sure if that can be checked up or not, but it does have its own unique serial number. For loading the CO2, as I spoke about earlier, there is a button on this side that is what would be the mag release. If you push that down, that pops the grip off and reveals where the CO2 will go. On the back of these grips there is a clip that obviously helps keep it in place, and it clips back into the grooves that are in there. To load a CO2, you need to wind this little screw out there so it's all the way down. You bring that arm down, you slot your CO2 in and tighten this screw up again as tight as you can. And then just pushing this in, there will be a bit of resistance there. If you push that in, that applies the last bit of pressure upwards to pierce the CO2, and then it is ready to shoot. These then, obviously, as I said, because they've got a clip on the back, just clip back in place, he says. It can be a little bit finicky if you don't quite line them up right. There we go. Magazines. The standard Umarex Rotary magazine, they have got the little paws on them there to index the magazine. They are loaded in this way first, head first from this side. I would advise seating the pellets if you do have some form of seater. I've got a proper seater that came with my lever action. It's a proper Umarex one, but you can use something like a stylus for a phone or something like that, just to push them in ever so slightly and seat them. Try and make them a little almost flush with this side, and it just does help with accuracy ever so slightly. To load it, we'll go back to this. You see, this time it reverted back how it should do. Finicky, yes, you get used to it. The magazine, it goes in with the indexing pulls toward the back. It just literally drops in like that. You push through and you're ready to shoot. Simple as that. As I said, this is double and single action. The double action, it is quite a long, take it off, obviously this isn't charged, there's no CO2 and it's no loaded magazine, so it has got a really long pull on it in double action, because obviously it has to move the hammer, as you can see there, and then release. If you use it in single action, cock it, pull it, the travel does go less. As you can see, as I cock it, the trigger moves, and it is a lot lighter. I'll do it from this side so you can see. It doesn't take that much effort to then release it. It is a lot more accurate in single action. Obviously, because you're not indexing the magazine. If you cock that hammer every single time, you're indexing the magazine by cocking the hammer, and then all you have to do is pull the trigger just to release it. So there's not as much resistance there, which means you can keep it on target a little bit easier, and obviously there's not as much travel there, so it's less effort to try and shoot. The barrel extension, we'll just go back to this shortly for a bit. This is the competition barrel. You can buy this separately. Again, like the sights and the grips, it does retail about £70 if you wanted to add it on as an optional extra. If you bought the standard 4-inch version, it does come with the exterior barrel, or the exterior extension as such. On the reverse, there's just 2 grub screws that hold these two sections together, and there is actually an inner barrel. I don't know if you can see the inner barrel there. There is a longer barrel that is actually 6 inches instead of the standard 4. It does give a little bit of higher FPS. It does make it a little bit more accurate, not by much, but it just every little helps in my opinion. These do run around about 2.5 foot-pound. Obviously the UK limit's 6, so they're not really near the UK limit. However, they do shoot really well. I can get about 8 of these Rotary magazines, so you know, around about 65 to 80 shots per CO2, depending on the weather, whether it's warm, it's cold. The warmer it is, obviously the better it is, because the CO2 is more efficient. But you will be looking around 65 to 80 shots to 1 CO2, which in my opinion isn't bad at all. They are good fun to shoot. I really enjoy this pistol. As I say, it's one of my favourites out of my whole collection. I'm a magpie. I like the silver, I like the walnut, I like the extension, I like the match sights, I like everything about it. The only thing that annoys me, as we've discussed already, is just this mag release. It's a little bit finicky, but once you get used to it, it's great. I'll just move this out of the way, and we'll just get onto a target. This was shot at 6 yards, so you can see just how good this air pistol is. Apart from the one little fly there, everything is within, say, a 5p group. That's 6 shots at 6 yards. It is rested, but it just shows you what this air pistol is capable of. The extra 2 inches of barrel in this competition version to make it 6 inch rather than 4 inch does help. It does make it a little bit more accurate. But yeah, apart from that flyer, that is 5 shots all within 5p at 6 yards. It's no target shooter, but that is damn good. So yeah, there you go. That is it. The Walther CP88 competition version. Fantastic pistol. Not cheap, but if you have got the money, I would highly recommend buying one of these. They're great fun. Noisy, yes. Accurate, not bad. Fun, absolutely. Go and get one. I really would recommend it. That's all from me. I hope you enjoyed. If you could like, comment, subscribe, share, that would be absolutely fantastic. And I'll see you next time. Thank you.